Here's what we've got coming up for you today. The Richmond Rangers, and I'm challenging my mates.
Okay. You right, Curtis?
The trip calls for us to work as a team, accepting each other's limitations.
I'm a bit scared. A little bit scared.
Hi, I'm Kate.
I'm Cameron. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Christy. I remember when Curtis first told me about this idea. You know, he wanted to go to Brazil, Cambodia, America, Vegas, Hawaii. Woohoo! I'm in.
But I didn't think he was meaning to cook straight. Guys, we're in Marlborough. Welcome to
I've always wanted to be a travel show host and to prove a point that having a disability is no barrier to adventure. And I'm challenging my mates.
You'll see the mountains over there on the horizon. That's what's called the Richmond Ranges. We're going to be heading up into the bush.
There's Cameron, who has heaps of courage. Kate, who has endless energy. And Christy, well, she might have been a little bit too quick to put up her hand.
I guess the climax of all of that, which was Curtis's suggestion, is a 24-hour solo in the bush.
That solo will mean everyone has to make their own bivouac. They'll have 24 hours on their own in the bush. No cell phones, but it's so remote they wouldn't work there anyway.
In the bush for 24 hours.
The Richmond Rangers are 50 minutes from the airport, and as we drive, the girls are pretty blasé, reading women's magazines in the back seat. I've planned the event, and I'm starting to feel a little responsible. I've done what I can to plan activities that show what you can do despite a disability. But our instructor has never dealt with disability before. He's a no-nonsense mountain bloke who's keen to push us.
We're here. This is our accommodation for the next 24 hours before we move on up the hill.
The girls were really excited to see this. Not quite the 5-star they were hoping for. Our camp is an old school. Facilities, basic, with a capital B.
Excuse me, Curtis.
I'm adamant this trip is about pushing yourself, but I did kind of expect they'd help me up those steps.
I'm coming. God. Good team building exercise.
I first started talking to Dave Johnson 2 months earlier. I'd spoken to a range of outdoor adventure companies who either weren't willing to take people with disabilities or were plain ignorant. Dave admitted that working with disabilities would be a challenge for him too.
Make sure we're giving you a challenge, but we're not pushing you into situations where you're going to be distressed or anything like that.
I love the outdoors, but definitely don't like the idea of spending a night outside on my own at all.
Basically, I hang out at music stores and that is about all I do.
My Form 2 camp was probably the last time I slept outdoors.
Like the home comforts.
Like everybody, mate, I haven't done hardly any camping for me. It's just a little bit too hard basket for me.
Uni student Cameron Leslie, a gold medalist at the 2008 Paralympics, has no lower limbs and only partially formed hands. Paralympic sprinter and mum, Kate Horan, had her left leg amputated when she was a child. She's about to find out how that artificial limb copes under strain. You hardly notice Christy has cerebral palsy, but she spent months of her childhood in hospital, undergoing operations on her feet and severely disfigured hips. She lives daily with pain. Our clothing list insisted no cotton clothing. By simulating wind and rain, Dave makes the point. Cotton can kill.
How warm or cold are you?
I'm pretty cold. I'd say I'd be about a 3.
Yep, okay. And how warm or cold are you?
I'd say probably 5.
Yeah.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, that's because this is good thermal gear. It'll be starting to dry out already. This is cotton. It holds the moisture and it will stay wet.
The trip calls for us to work as a team, accepting each other's limitations. In some situations, we'll have to combine our abilities to get the job done, like here. For me, it will mean relying on the others.
No, because my name's Christy. I know. Okay.
As part of our skills training, we're being taught how to descend down a steep bank.
So the first thing I'm going to do is tie you into the system. You got your brakes on, so you're not going anywhere. The other people have disabilities as well, so we need to see exactly how they're going to manage themselves in a simulated exercise before we get on to the actual rock itself with the river at the bottom of the bank. Once we've got you tied in, we'll have a chat about that. Curtis is going to need some help to get down here. He's going down backwards, so he can't see where he's going. He needs some people to steer for him. So you're going to be the steering people. How are you guys going to get on going down this slope here?
I don't think I'm going to be fantastic. I don't know. Holding myself up is a bit of an issue, let alone someone else, so...
I'll second that. Maybe if I took off my legs and wore my short ones,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
might make a difference.
Okay, what about you, Kate?
No, I'll give it a go.
Cameron spent most of his childhood getting around on his stumps. It wasn't until he hit the teenage years that he even considered wearing artificial limbs to make him the same height as his mates.
It's not me farting, by the way, it's the legs.
Even now, they're not natural to him. He's more stable on his old prosthetic stumps.
Let's go.
It's the first sign this will be a real challenge for him.
If I start slipping, I'd say pause and you grab a hold.
Yeah, we just keep pulling, right?
It wasn't easy for Kate either. She's stable on her right leg, but not on her left.
Okay, is it getting steep now?
Yeah, it's starting to.
Christy's gone a little quiet. She has major deformities in her hips. Her surgeon stressed that she mustn't put her hips under strain.
As you can see, you know, this is not comfortable. This is out of not only my comfort zone, but everybody's comfort zone. I needed two people to guide me down, and Christy didn't put her hand up, and kind of understand why she was reluctant to do that.
All right.
Worked out that I probably wouldn't be able to help him. Felt quite guilty, like I wasn't doing my part to help.
Tomorrow, we have to head into the bush and cover some steep terrain. As we head to our bunks, we're all realising even a little thing like that bank was a challenge. The disability factor did come into play. It's now how we each handle it.
I think I'm probably more mobile than the others, but doesn't mean that I would always find things easier.
A little bit worried with tomorrow and crossing the river, because my big legs, I'm not allowed to get the knees wet on them, but with my short ones, they're all good to get wet, but depending how deep the river is, it could push me around a little bit in the current.
I feel fine about the river crossing, like for some reason doesn't faze me. It's more the carrying my pack. I can, barely hold myself up, let alone a pack that weighs half as much as I do.
It's definitely a team. Yep, I think that we all work really well together. I think we have different strengths and weaknesses, which sort of makes the team quite diverse.